mainly going to be core and hips focus, as most Pilates classes are. And we're going to come down to the floor to get started today. So soles of the feet are going to be on the ground, and you're going to take a nice lay down on the mat with the feet on the floor. Okay. Take a moment to get settled in. And then we're going to hop into some breath work and some pelvis tilts to start our class today. So you can begin by placing your hands on your hip bones. So I just kind of make my hands face in towards each other, so they're on my pelvis and my pubic bone. From here, we're going to take a couple big breaths. So no pelvis movement. I just want you to think about breathing in as if we're breathing into the space right below our belly button. And then exhale, let all the air out. Notice if you can do that a couple times without moving anything else in your body. So we're just breathing in to that area right below the tummy, and then exhale, letting it all go. A couple more just like that. Notice if any other part of your body wants to move along with it, and begin to quiet that down. Nice. All right, now we're going to start to add in some pelvic tilts. So we inhale, hands can stay on the hip bones if you like. Arch the back, fill the tummy. And then exhale, we're coming into that posterior pelvic tilt. Air goes out, that low back gets nice and heavy. So we inhale, we arch. Fill in the tummy, feeling that low back move off the mat, and then exhale, we tuck. Pelvis touches down towards the mat. You feel that low mat, the back on your low back. Couple more just like that. Inhaling, we're arching. Exhaling, we're tucking. Two more. Very good. Still breathing into that space underneath our low belly. Last one, wherever you're at. Beautiful. All right. Now we're going to make that tailbone nice and heavy. So you have this position where we're either arched or tucked really strong. And I just want you to keep the pelvis neutral. So if that means for you today that you need to tuck your pelvis a little bit so you can feel neutral. And neutral is just going to feel like if you put your hands on your hip bones, it's nice and flat. So you don't feel the hip bones higher or lower. And your low back is touching down. So whatever you need to do to make those hip bones nice and flat and to feel that low back on the floor. Okay, we're going to start with our leg drags. I'm going to have you do a couple single leg, and then we'll do double leg. So we're going to start with that left leg. You're going to inhale, make it longer and straighter towards the edge of your mat. Drag it along the mat. Think about it's like leaving the socket of your hip bone. We're making it that long and straight. And then exhale, feel that pelvis hug in towards the ground as you pull the abs in to drag that left leg back. Very good. So inhale, we drag the leg out, low back staying nice and heavy. Exhale, you pull the belly button in, drag left leg back. We're going for 5. Bless you. So inhale, we make that leg longer. Exhale, you pull the core in, feel that pelvis nice and heavy as you drag left leg back. I'm on for 4. Nice. Moving between these. Very good. Inhale. Extend. Exhale, drag it in. Beautiful. Once you got your 5, we're going to switch out to that right leg. So feel that that pelvis is nice and neutral. Your hip bones and pelvis is nice and flat. We make that right leg longer and straighter, almost leaving the socket. So you can make it, you kind of move your hips a little. And then exhale, drag it in, pull the belly button up and in. Feel that low back sink into the mat. So we inhale, straighten it out. Exhale, pull that low belly in. Very good. We're going for 5. Inhale, make it nice and long. Exhale, core pulls in, pelvis hits the floor as you feel that core engaged. Now we're going for around 4 or 5. See how everybody's doing on these with their drags. Very good. Nice. Get to your 5. I think I need one more to make that. So I'll finish out with y'all inhaling to make it nice and long. Exhale, we drag that leg in along the floor. Okay, we're gonna hop into 2 legs now once that other leg meets the other foot. So same thing, both feet are gonna drag. You're gonna send them out long towards the end of your mat. And then on the way in, you're gonna think about pulling your pelvis down to the mat, core pulling in as you drag them. So you feel that low back sink into the mat when you pull that core in. Nice, we're going for 1. So inhale, we extend both legs. Exhale, pelvis pulls in, low back gets heavy, core pulls in, legs drag back and towards the body for 2. So inhale, we straighten. Exhale, we pull the core in, pelvis gets nice and heavy. We're going to 6, so 1 more than we did on each leg. Breathe in to extend, exhale to drag them back. Very good. I think we have 2 to 3 more, moving with your own breath. Nice. I think we have 2 more now if you're with me. Inhale, extend. Exhale, core pulls in, pelvis sinks closer down towards the mat. Beautiful. Last one if you're with me. Extend and exhale to drag them back in. I'll give you a moment to bring the legs back in if they aren't already, and then give you the knees a nice hug in towards the body. You can clasp your hands around the knees. Maybe you give yourself a little bit of roll on your low back. Maybe it feels good to round through your spine and trying to get your head towards your knees. Very good. Whatever that looks like for you. And then on your next breath, set the feet down on the floor. We're going to start to open up into the hips a little bit more before we do some core. Okay, so make sure, that's more for me, make sure you have enough space behind you with these. Okay, so we're going to notice the pelvis, the feet are on the ground. We're going to come into a bridge position. So we just are starting bridge today. So I might ask you to take a little bit wider stance than you normally do, and maybe even point the toes out towards the outside corners of your mat to be nice and gentle to the hips. All right, we're going to think about taking a couple pelvic tilts as we move through this. So we're going to inhale, fill the tummy, arch the back. Low back comes off the floor. Exhale, tuck the tailbone. Low back touches down, and then begin to drive into the feet as you lift your hips up, 1 vertebrae at a time, coming into your bridge. Doesn't have to be super high, just press into your feet. When you get to the top, we're going to take a big inhale. And then exhale, set your heart down first, then your mid back, then your low back, moving the opposite way, and then your hips touch down. Beautiful. Now with that, we're going to add in some arm movement. So we're going to inhale to arch, low back comes off, exhale to tuck. As you drive into those feet, lift your hips. Then as you lift your hips, your arms come back behind you into your bridge. You take 1 big inhale at the top, and then exhale, heart touches down, low back, and mid back touches down, low back, and the arms sweep back towards your legs. Beautiful. So you got it. So we're moving a lot of moving parts here. So we're inhaling, we're arching our back, exhaling, tucking, and then arms begin to sweep overhead as you drive into your feet. Lift your hips, allowing those arms to move wherever they like to today. It could be all the way back, but doesn't have to be. Take 1 breath at the top. And then exhale. Heart goes down first. Mid back. And then finally the hips touch down. We're going to do a couple more just like that. And then the arms move with us. So we're arching. We're tucking. We're driving into the feet as the arms sweep overhead. Very good. You're taking 1 big inhale there. Feeling the tummy. And then exhale. Heart down, mid back down, hips down. And you repeat the process. We're doing 2 to 3 more with your own breath. I'm going to see how everybody's doing. So we inhale, we arch. Exhale, we tuck. and then begin to drive into the feet. Lift the hips, coming up into the bridge. You take one big breath into the tummy at the top, and then exhale to try to move that spine the opposite way on the way back down, finally setting those hips on the floor. Very good. We're doing 2 more wherever you are. Very nice, Ted. Those looked good. So we inhale, we arch, exhale, tuck, and then we drive into our feet as we lift those hips. Arms come behind, one big breath at the top, and then exhale. Ribs come down, mid back comes down, low back comes down, arms sweep forward. Last one, if you're with me. Driving into those feet, sweeping the hands overhead, very good. And then lower down. One vertebrae at a time, coming onto the back. Nice. I want you to widen the feet after you touch those feet down again after that last bridge. Widen the feet and the knees a little bit, and then just take some hip rotations with me. So you're just going to send your knees off in towards one direction, and then we're moving to another direction. Very good. We're just now getting some movement into those hips after we've gotten them a little bit more warmed up today. Very good. Nice job. Sending them one way and then the other way. Take 1 or 2 more each side. Remembering to breathe. Okay. Finish out that last side you're on. And then we're going to begin our twists like we did last time. So the knees are going to come in towards the chest. The hands are going to be out at a T, and we're going to be moving with the breath. So we inhale, we drop the knees over towards one side. Doesn't have to be fully over. If you'd like to put a pillow anywhere here, you can. And then exhale, we're pulling the belly button in to bring the knees back to center. Nice. So we inhale, drop the knees over to that other side. Exhale, belly button pulls in. We come back. Nice. We're going to do around 5 to 6 on each one. Each side, inhaling to drop over, exhaling to pull the low belly nice and in, bring it over to the other side. Very good. Bless you. Or is that a cough? Nice. Inhaling to drop, exhaling, pulling the low back, pulling the core in, coming back. Nice. I'm on 3 here, moving between each direction. Very good. For 4. We're going to 6 if you're with me. I'm at 5. Nice. Inhale to drop over. Exhale, pull the low belly in. Nice. Last one each side. Keeping those twists going. Very good. And then as you're ready here, come back with the legs in that center position. Very good. All right. We're going to begin some arch rotations also like we did last time. So you're just going to send your knees off towards the left. And then this would be that option for you. If you needed the pillow, if your knees aren't fully on the ground, you can place the pillow underneath your knees or in between the knees, whatever feels good. And then the arms are going to open out at a T. So we're in a twist now. You can look towards your right hand. If that right shoulder doesn't want to get on the ground for you, you can think about picking it up and bringing it underneath your body a little bit. All right, now we're going to start with those twists. So with that right hand, you can come across to close the book. Exhale. And then inhale, we open up into the twist again. Nice. So exhale, we close that book off. Inhale, we open into the twist. You have a couple options with your hand. You can just open and close the book, or you can drag the hand along the floor overhead if that feels good in your shoulder and your neck. But move with your breath. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to close. We're going to do 2 to 3 more on this side to make 5 or 6. 9. Last 2. Oh, actually, I think this is last one. So take a moment, move through your last one, exhaling to close, inhaling to open. And then while you're open, take a second here. Maybe you look towards your right hand and take a breath. Very cool. All right, roll back onto your back. We're going to be coming with the knees over towards the right now. So the knees are just going to drop, the knees are into the chest and they drop straight over towards the right. Left arm is out long in our T now. All right, if that left shoulder isn't on the ground, I want you to think about picking it up and bringing it underneath your body. It's also an option to place a pillow underneath it. That's going to help you get a more out of the shoulder stretch. Okay, and now we're starting with that left hand. So on your next inhale, we prepare. And then we exhale to close the book, bringing the left hand over towards the right one. And then we open up into our twist. Inhaling, we're opening. Exhaling, closing the book. As you move with your own breath. Nice. We're going for around 5 or 6 on this side. Three more. Nice. Last 2. Maybe you can try moving that arm overhead or in a different way that you've done before. And then last one, if you're with me, coming into the twist. All right, we're in this twist on that left side again. Take a moment to look at your left hand. Take a couple breaths, breathing into that side. Beautiful. All right, and then we're going to come back onto the back. If your pillow's in between your knees, I encourage you to keep it there. It actually can feel really good for the next exercise that we're going to do. All right, so knees are into the body, the knees are hovering, and then we're going to hold a hovering tabletop. So if you can, raise the head and maybe extend your knees out a little bit longer, squeeze onto your pillow, and we're gonna hold here for a couple of moments. Think about making that low back nice and heavy, maybe scooping that pelvis underneath you, and take a breath. All right, while we're here, we're gonna begin with some arm pumps. So we're gonna do 10 arm pumps. So begin to pump the arms down towards the ground for 1, for 2, keep squeezing your pillow, for 3, for 4, for 5, 6, 7, keep pumping, 8, 9, and 10. Beautiful. Set that. Good job there, Cheryl. Take that pillow out, set her to the side, hug those knees into the chest. Maybe you take a moment to roll on that low back. Okay, very good. All right, we'll do one more ab movement here before we start to move on to our side. So knees are going to stay in towards the chest, and we're going to start with a low, what are these called? Bicycles. Yeah, excuse me. So hands can come behind the head picks up off the floor, and we're going to think about twisting our torso so that one knee touches opposite, one elbow touches opposite knee, and then other leg extends out nice and long. We're going for 5 on each side. We can inhale, prepare, exhale to twist. Inhale, come back through center. Exhale to twist. Nice. We're going for 3. Inhale, back to center. Exhale to twist. For 3. Very good for 4. Very nice for 5. We're going to 6. You got it for 5. For 5. Beautiful. Last one each side. Exhaling to get those twists going. And then set those feet on the floor. We're done with the core for the moment. And we're going to find ourselves on our side. So I'm going to roll onto my left side because that's where I'm at. But you can be on a different side. That is totally okay. Just I will be talking about a different top leg than you, but I'll just prefer to refer to it as the top leg. So it's no big deal. All right, so we're going to come down. So we lay on the shoulder. So you can either have the arm out nice and long to lay on your shoulder, or you can take your pillow, place it underneath your head, or you can be up on your hands with your forearm on the floor. So whatever feels best. I typically like this. And then we're going to send our knees out a little bit farther in front of us. So now we're in a stacked knee position. Feet are out a little bit, knees are out. And then we're going to begin with the side body breathing that I had y'all try last time. So you're going to place your hands on the underneath side of your obliques. Feel that area that you can breathe into actually right there. So it's right around my ribs. And we're going to think about inhaling into the hand, breathing into your hand, feeling the obliques, and then exhale. Think about pulling it in the direction of off the ground. It might not pull, not all of our bodies are the same, but we're going to think about as if it could leave the ground, driving it off the floor. Nice, couple like that, just feeling what that feels like. Inhale, feel torso. Exhale, pull the core in, try to lift that off the floor. Last 2, inhale to breathe into the hand, exhale to drive it away from the floor. And then last one. Very good. And I want you to keep it there after that last one. So whatever that core activation feels like for you into that side body, keep it there. That's what we're going to need for this hip stuff that we're doing next. Okay, so we're going to start with the top leg. You're just going to lift it out nice and straight. And then we're going to begin with some abductions. So we can inhale to raise, pick that leg up, and then exhale to lower. As the leg goes up, you're thinking about pulling your core in, so it's opposing your leg, just like with that leg drive. Beautiful. So we're going around 10. We're lifting, we're inhaling. That low abdominals are still pulling off the mat. Very good for 4. Nice for 5. As we lift, we pull the core in and off the ground for 6. Nice. 7. Very good. Last 2 here, make it 10. Beautiful. Last 1. Set that right leg down. Take a breath. Allow your rib cage to come down. Breathe in. And then we'll go again. So pull that rib and off the direction, in the direction of off the floor again. And now we're going to move through some hip extensions. You're going to send that right leg out nice and long. And then keeping the pelvis where it is, you're going to begin to kick that leg behind you, finding hip extension. As that leg goes behind you, your core is pulling in, opposing the leg. We're going for 10. So inhale to send it back. Exhale, pull that core in, hold it there. Nice. We're staying there for 1 breath. Inhale, we send that leg back. Exhale, pull that core in, rib cage is pulling off the ground. Nice. I have 4. Take an exhale with that leg behind you. Pull your core in, pelvis forward for 5. Nice. Same thing. 6. Beautiful for 7. You got this. 8. And then last one, setting it leg behind you, pelvis pulling in. And then set that right leg or whatever top leg back down. Allow your ribs to come back down to the floor. Relax your core. Take a big breath. Nice. Okay, think about activating through that side body again. Pulling those abdominals in the direction of away from the floor. And then we're going to pick up that top leg. So now the top leg is staying bent. So unlike the last 2, keep this guy bent. And then we're going to do some knee and toe touches. So knee is going to touch knee. So top knee is going to touch bottom knee. And then the leg is going to rotate so heel can touch heel. So we're moving between knee to knee and heel to heel. Your pelvis is staying nice and still while we're moving through these. You're keeping that bottom rib cage that's on the floor, pulling away from the floor. Very good. So 3, 3. Awesome. 4, 4. Very good. 5, 5. We're going for around 7 to 10 here. 6. Very good. Keeping it going. 7, 7. Last couple here. You got it. 8. 8. Now you're starting to feel that burn in that upper hip, upper glute. And then last one. Knee, knee. Heel, heel. Set the legs back down. Release the core. Take a breath. Okay. We're going to do the same thing on that other side. So I just like to send my legs off and over towards one direction and switch it out that way. That's probably the easiest way to switch it. Okay, same thing on this side. We take a second to organize ourselves on the ground before we starting to move. So your arms can be stretched out nice and long. You can also have a pillow underneath your head. You can also be up on your hand if that feels better in your head or your neck. So just find what works best. And then chest and lower and hips are going to be in the same place. And then knees and feet can come a little bit farther forward. Okay, and you can use the back of the edge of your mat to make sure that your body's in a straight line. Okay, once we have that, we're going to practice our side rib breathing on this side. So hands going to come right underneath you in that bottom rib cage. We're going to inhale, breathe into the hand, and then exhale. Think about drawing the core off the floor as we activate through that side, our side obliques there. So we inhale, we breathe into the core. Exhale, we think about driving the core away from the ground, using those obliques. Beautiful. 2 more like that. Inhale, we breathe. Exhale, we think about activating the core up in the direction of lifting off the floor. Last one. And then exhale. Pull it up. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to stay with that side with the core activated there, and then begin to lift that top leg. Okay, so we're going to go for some side kicks on this side. So inhale to lift that leg up. Think about pulling the core. Exhale, set it down. So inhale as we lift it up, we're drawing our core up and in. So every time the leg goes up, we activate through the core. Nice. So inhale to kick. Exhale, I set it down. Beautiful. Inhale, we're kicking. Exhale, back down. Very good for 7. We're good for around 8 to 10 for 8. Nice, guys. Notice the rest of your body is trying to stay nice and still. So as we're moving the leg, the core helps us keep everything still. Last one on this side, you're kicking it up. Beautiful. And then stack the legs, allow that side core to relax. Take a deep breath. Beautiful job. Nice. Okay. Activate that side body again, whatever that feels like or looks like for you. Now we're going to take some hip extensions. Leg goes out nice and straight. And we're going to think about setting that leg behind us. As that leg goes behind us, we're pulling our core in. Nice. So you can bring it back, and then we inhale, send it back behind us. Exhale, pull that core in. Nice. Beautiful. So we're sending that leg behind. Exhale, one exhale behind you with that leg. With that leg behind you, pull that core up and in for 3. Nice. Leg goes behind you, core pulls in. It comes back. Nice. You're keeping that rib cage pulling off the ground. Very good. For 7. We're going for round 10 here. Nice for 8. Very good for 9. Last one, core pulls up and in as that leg goes off behind you. And then set your legs down. Rest your core. Take a deep breath. Okay, we only have one little sequence for our top leg now, and then we'll move on to something else. So find that activation. Think about lifting that core off the ground, even if it doesn't lift. And then leg is gonna come up, but it's gonna stay nice and bent. We're gonna take some rotations. So knee is gonna rotate in to tap knee. And then heel rotates out to tap heel. As we do that, we're keeping that core engaged, lifting off the floor. Nice. For 2, we're coming down. You're moving between both of them. Keep the breath going. Nice. 5, we're getting around 6 to 10 here. So if you need to take a break before I do, that is fine. For 7, maybe you're feeling the top, either your glutes engage or your outer thighs. That's really normal. Beautiful. Last one, wherever you are. Tap knee, tap heel, close the legs, set your core down, breathe in nice and big. Nice. All right, so we're gonna fully rotate now, coming on to the hands and the knees. Okay, take your time getting there. We've spent a lot of time on our backs, a lot of time on our sides, so sometimes we can get a little dizzy, so take your time. Okay, so we're coming on to hands and knees, and we're gonna take a couple leg stretches. So inhale to arch, we're going into cat-cow. So inhale to prepare, and then exhale to round, coming into cat, belly button pulls in. Nice. Inhale, we arch, opening the chest, opening the collarbones. Nice, couple with your own breath. Very nice. Take one more full round, moving with your breath. Very good. All right, come back to tabletop for me. Now I want you to drag your right knee forward. So it's coming in between your hands, and then your left leg is going to come out nice and long. So this is single leg stretch. So you can scoop that left knee back a little bit if that feels better. And we're just gonna find our bearings here. So hands can stay on the floor. We can be a little bit lower down, or we can be a little bit higher on the fingertips. And we're gonna think about taking some big breaths in this pose. So you're breathing into the tummy. Maybe you can arch your back when you inhale. And then exhale, think about tucking the tailbone. Nice. We inhale, we're arching the back. Exhale, tuck the tailbone as the core pulls in. A couple more just like that. Last 2. Inhaling, we're arching the back a little bit more. Exhaling, we're tucking the tailbone. Last one. Nice. And then take a second in this stretch, whether it's a little bit lower or a little bit higher, to just notice how your body feels. So you can either be nice and low, give yourself a nice hip massage, or stay still in that bottom position. Or you can press up to the hands, maybe find a little bit of an arch to look up. So I give y'all a couple breaths here. Very good. All right. Now we're going to do that same thing on the other side. So the hands are going to plant. You're going to drag your right knee back to meet the left. And then left knee is going to drag forward in between the hands. Okay. We untuck the back toes. You can walk the right knee back a hair. And you can either be a little bit lower on the palms, a little bit closer to the ground, or up on the fingertips, really whatever feels best as we take a couple pelvic tilts here. So you're going to inhale, you're going to think about arching the back, breathing into the tummy. And then exhale, we think about tucking the tailbone as you pull the core in. We're using those pelvic tilts we learned earlier to get a little bit more out of this position, a little bit more of a stretch. Inhale that nice arch. Exhale that nice tuck. 2 to 3 more with your own breath. Last one. Very good. All right, take that moment on this side to do whatever you like. You can come down to the forearms, you can come up to the hands, do whatever feels best. Maybe you give yourself a little hip massage in that bottom position. Maybe you come up all the way onto the hands and give yourself a look up to the sky, arching the back. Very good. All right. Take that one more breath here. Very nice. All right, hands are gonna plant. We're gonna drag that left knee back to meet the right. And then we're going to come all the way down onto the tummy. If you would like to flop down, go ahead. If you would like to take a little push-up, I will also offer that, because I know we've been working on that. So if you're with my little push-up, I have my hands strongly pressing out of the floor, my shoulders low back, drop back, and then I lower myself slowly onto my tummy. Okay, once you're in that bottom position, hands are gonna scoot forward as we come into Sphinx. So shoulders, elbows can be a little bit away from the shoulders, a little bit farther forward, or they can be under the shoulders. Hands can clasp together, or hands can be on the floor. So, and then open the feet a little bit wider. That's gonna help us feel a little bit more comfy, and then press into the tops of the feet. We're gonna take a couple big breaths here, just like we did in our hip stretch there. So we inhale to breathe in towards the tummy, feel the belly expand into the floor, and then exhale, pull the belly button in the direction of lifting it off the floor. Inhale, we breathe in, feeling the low back. Exhale, belly button lifts off the ground. Couple more. Nice, last one. Very good. All right, head's gonna drop down onto the ground. Arms are gonna open out at your T, and we're gonna do some lifts for the upper back. So arms are gonna be out at a T, our head comes down, we're looking in the direction of the floor. If this isn't comfy for your head, you can place a pillow anywhere on your head that you like. All right, from here, we're gonna think about rolling our shoulder blades back. So then maybe that feels like pulling your shoulders off the floor. So if they're on the floor, we're pulling them back and away. So you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. I'm still looking down. Once you find that, we're gonna lift the arms 10 times. We're gonna lift them off the floor and set them down. So we're doing little back pulses here as you lift them up. You set them down. We're keeping the shoulders rolled back. Very good. Going for a couple more. Move in between those. Squeeze the shoulder blades together when you lift. Nice little pulses for the upper back. Nice, and then set the arms down. Very good. Now the arms are gonna squeeze a little bit closer in towards the body. Keep the gaze down. Think about rolling your shoulders back, and maybe that feels like rolling your shoulder blades off the floor. We're keeping our gaze down. Squeeze the hands in towards the body, and now we're gonna take some lifts in this position. You're just gonna lower and lift. Lower and lift the hands nice and close to the body. Keep breathing. Keep looking straight down with the head and the neck. Nice. Very good. And then set those arms back down. Very good, guys. All right, we're gonna make a pillow now with our head, with our hands. So our elbows are gonna go nice and wide, and then we're gonna put our head on top of our hand pillow. So I just cross my hands, elbows wide, and then I'm gonna set my head down. Okay, notice your feet if they've moved. If so, I want you to find that wider position I just had you be in for the Sphinx and begin to press the tops of your feet into the floor. Maybe you can find a little squeeze of the glutes as well. So we're inhaling to prepare, and then you're going to exhale. Think about lifting your head and your arms off the ground, finding a little extension through the spine. Keep the feet squeezing into the floor. Keep squeezing the glutes. Exhale, set down. Take a breath. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, squeeze the glutes. Come up. Good. Set it down. A couple more just like that. Inhale, we're preparing. Exhale, we're lifting up, squeezing the glutes, pressing into those feet, finding a little bit of extension. Last one. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, we come up. And on this last one, we're going to be coming back up, but staying there for a second. So we inhale, we're going to prepare. Exhale, we're going to come up and then take a twist with your body. So think about bringing your left shoulder over towards the left side of your body, back through center, and then right shoulder over towards the right side of your body. Keep squeezing the glutes, keep grounding your feet into the floor. Take one more or two more of those each side, twisting through the spine. Set yourself back down. Nice, guys. Very good. All right, now we're going to do some nice extensions for the legs as we start to cool things down. So hands can be wherever they like. If you want to keep your pillow, you can, but you can set your head down on the ground any way that feels best for you now, okay? We're going to bend that left knee in towards the body and then hover that left knee off the floor, trying to keep that left hip down. From here, you're going to extend out that left leg nice and straight, and then set it down on the ground. So we're bending, we're lifting maybe only an inch so we can keep our hip crease down, and then sending left leg out nice and long. Very good. We're moving through around 5 or 6 of these as we bend, we lift, we extend, you set it down. Beautiful. Bend. You can even touch your hip crease to make sure it's staying down, and then extend. Last one on this side. We're bending, we're lifting, we're extending, and then you're setting it down. And then last one to take a twist with it. So we're bending, we're lifting, and then instead of extending, twist that left leg all the way over towards the right, trying to set your right toes on the floor. Allow your left toes on the floor, excuse me. Allow your torso to move with you. Take a big breath over here. Very good. And then roll back onto the tummy, and we'll do that other side. All right, so other leg now. Find yourself in your pillow, whatever that looks like for you. And then we're gonna bend the right knee, hover the the right knee off the ground. I can't get my knees straight today. And then extend that leg out nice and long and set it down. So we're bending, we're lifting, trying to keep that right hip crease down, and then extending. We're going for around 5 or 6. You're bending, you're lifting, you're extending. Beautiful. Lengthening out that hamstring. Very good. Last one before we twist. Bending, lifting, extending. And then on this last one, we're going to twist. We bend, we lift, and then allow your torso to go with you as we drop the right toes over towards that left side of the mat. Finding a breath. Very good. Roll onto the tummy. We're going to press up to the hands. Very good. And then come into a seat on your mat. So feet are going to be nice and wide. We're going to finish today with this is called spine stretch forward, but it just feels really nice. So then the legs are going to be pretty wide. The knees are going to be bent. And we're going to try to sit up nice and tall. So bend your knees how much you need so that your spine can feel really lifted, okay? All right, so we're gonna sit up nice and tall. Hands are gonna come out nice and long. And we're gonna think about leaning the right arm in the direction of our left leg. But as we do that, we're rounding through the upper body. So you're thinking about pulling your chest back. As I reach my right arm towards that left leg, my left arm comes behind me. So my abs are pulling back as I lean forward. You take a breath as you get there, and then come back up as we switch sides. Nice. So we sit tall, and then you start to round the upper body as left arm reaches in the direction of right toes, right arm sweeps behind you. Take a breath down there, and then inhale to come up. Start moving with your own breath. So inhale to come up. Exhale to lean forward, core pulls back. We round to that upper body as you reach in the direction of that opposite leg. Nice. Press into those feet. When you're ready, roll up. Take it through the other side. Very good. And then after you got that last one, to even things out, come forward and we'll take one straight forward. So we'll send the arms out in front of us. We'll inhale to prepare. And then exhale, think about rounding your upper body as you just reach forward. You don't have to touch the floor. We're just reaching forward. Think about pulling the core back. Knees can be nice and bent. And then roll up. We'll take one more just like that. So we inhale, get up nice and tall. Exhale, round to that upper back. Pull the core back behind you as we reach. Nice. And then roll up for me. Okay, feet are gonna come out in front of you like they already are, but you're gonna send those feet a little bit closer in. We're gonna find one last core movement before we're done with class today. So the hands are gonna come to the back of the knees, and we are going to find what they like to call halfway back. So you're gonna think about just like we did on that last thing. So we're rounding with our body as we go back. So I want you to round, think about sending the tailbone back, chin tucks into the chest as we round as far as feels like something that we can hold. So if we go too far and we fall, then maybe we need to go a little bit farther up. So you're gonna hold that with me once you find that. That is your halfway back position. So don't go all the way back unless that's good for you. Find something that you can hold and still hold on to your legs, okay? So whatever that looks like. So we're gonna find a breath here, holding our halfway back, and then I want you to go back an inch farther back and then come back up. An inch farther back and then come back up. Exhale. Inhale a little bit farther back. Exhale to come up. Two more like that. Inhale farther back. Exhale, come up. Last one. Inhale farther back. And then exhale, come up. And then roll all the way down to your back. Yeah. All right, guys. And that's the end of class. Very good.